In today's YouTube video, I'm going to be sharing with you 2 fantastic tips to transform your chipping. These are non-technical parts that are really going to help your game. Make sure you check this video out. So that was about Jon Watts from the TruGolf Academy here. You've joined me around the chipping green, and today's video, as I mentioned there in the intro, is all around transforming your chipping through 2 really simple non-technical thoughts that I think is going to help your short game really take it to the next level. If you're new to my channel and you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. If you hit the little bell icon, it just notifies you every time a new video goes live. If you enjoy the content, give us a thumbs up, share it with as many golfers as you can. So what I'm facing here is a shot of around 15-20 paces to I put a tour stick in the hole. Obviously with the COVID situation at the minute, we haven't got the flags in there, so I've just put the tour stick to show the flag where I'm going to. I've got around, as I said, 15-20 yards to that. I've got around 5 yards to the edge of the green, and the first thing I want you to do is picture the trajectory you want to throw the ball at, and that is right, throwing it rather than actually hitting it. I want you to picture how you would throw it to finish close to that. Would you toss the ball up in the air, fly it all the way? Would you get the ball on the ground sooner? For me, I would definitely, when the grass is cut short, i.e. the green, and it's only 4 or 5 yards paces from me, I'm looking to land this about a yard onto the green and run it. So I'm picturing the trajectory I want to throw the ball at and where I want to land it. So that looks pretty good to me. So it's finished up there to what, about 2 foot. I need to go a little bit more to the right, but the right distance. So I've landed that by about that leaf that's a yard or so onto the green there, and I'm getting the ball to run and release. And what I want to do is then hit some shots when I'm practicing and see what club that is, what equates to that throwing. I know it's not going to be one of my wedges, that's going to go more up in the air, and it's too high for my 7-iron thing. So for me, I'm thinking that was around a 9-iron-ish trajectory, something like that, 9-iron, maybe even a pitching wedge, is what I'm seeing there in terms of my throwing to get it landing on the green and running, releasing. So it's a great way to practice your chipping. I think I've got a 9-iron out here, so I'll stick with that one rather than the pitch. And looking at that point about a yard onto the green. So it's a great way to do it, to throw some shots to a flag, then try and get the club and see if you can recreate that same trajectory, that same roll and release, and see what club that equates to. It's a great way to transform it. The second point is actually to start to read this like a putt. So if you've got time, if it's not your chance time to play and you've got your playing partners still perhaps contemplating what they're going to do, walk up, try and feel the green. You know, where's it firm, where's it soft, how much break is there? So as I'm standing here about a yard onto the green where I want to land it, I can feel a lot of my pressure onto my left side here. So I know the ball's going to be breaking to the left straight away. It's still doing the same amount, a little bit less here as it flattens out into the bowl, but this is quite a soft, wet area of our chipping green at the minute. I don't want to land the ball here, so this would be more of my sand wedge or something, gap wedge, flying it here, but I don't want to land it here. It's too unpredictable. I think it's just going to dig its toes in. I want to land the ball where it's firmer and get the ball to run through this, so it's a great way to walk up here and feel it. And then we're coming up the hill, still breaking to the left. So the whole of this shot, as soon as it hits the ground, is going to be curving and bouncing to the left-hand side. And I know that it's firm here, it's soft down in that middle bit, and then quite firm as it goes up the ridge towards the end of it. So I've got a real good idea. It's almost like I'm putting this shot. I'm thinking about holing it. Where am I going to land it? How is it going to roll and release? I'm picking a spot. Around here, I've got a leaf and then a little bit of mud, and this is my landing area that I'm thinking of, which is similar to where I threw it underarm, but a little bit more to the right. So practice swings, looking at that. Picture it, how it's going to bounce, how it's going to roll, how it's going to release. Really get used to feeling very positive over it. So that was about the right landing area, maybe a foot short, but you can see it's about the right distance. Very quickly going off to the left-hand side there. So I've actually got to start to allow more break. Yes, I wouldn't get another go on this on the course, but learn from it, especially when you're practicing your chipping. How is it going to roll and release? I could potentially go the pitching wedge, but I'll stick with the 9. I'll just go a little bit further to the right-hand side. Similar shot to how I was throwing the ball. So that landed on my leaf, just a touch more to the right-hand side. You can see there, it's just rolling through a few feet past the flag. I was between the 9 and the pitch, but definitely not my sand wedge, definitely not my 7-iron that would run and release. So I'm getting a good idea. It's not always going to be my 9-iron, depending on where the flag is, how far away I am from the edge of the green. But that's where I'd start with throwing the ball first of all, get the feeling of what trajectory you want to hit the ball at, and then what does that equate to in terms of a club choice. Also, when you get the chance, walk up there, feel it like a putt, start picturing it like a putt. It's definitely going to transform your chipping and lower your scores. As I mentioned at the start, if you have enjoyed this video, hit the thumbs up, share it with as many golfers as you can, and consider subscribing.